there, Julia here. Welcome to another video, and I'm very excited about this video. We are going to be looking at the state of my fountain pen collection. We're looking at all of the pens that I have on hand right now. If this is your first time here, this channel is all about creative planning, journaling, and fountain pens and inks here recently, as I've decided to share more of my journey here on the channel. I also have a video all about my fountain pen journey in the 8-pen question hop that was recently posted. So if you want a little bit of background either before or after this video, I will leave that up in the cards for you and down in the description if you're interested. But we're gonna just hop right on into it. I tried to gather up all of my pens. I do have a drawer of dip pens that I'll overlay here, and I keep these right in a desk drawer. You'll see a Kakamori dip pen. I recently was gifted a Lamy Joy. I also have the Pilot Parallel, which I've been having a lot of fun with, kind of learning black letter. And yeah, those are my kind of quick grab dip pens. And then I do keep my currently inked pens up along my desk so that I can quickly grab them throughout the day as I'm writing in tasks in my journal. And from time to time, I'll write in my 5-year journal right here from the desk. So I like having all of my currently inked pens right there. And then beside my desk, I have some clear acrylic drawers that I used to use for makeup for a while. And then I switched my acrylographs in there and just some basic bullet journal markers. And then the iteration you see now, they are lined with these awesome little just cut and go pen trays from Pen Industries. I'll leave as many things as I can linked down below for you, but I've really been enjoying this, and I've learned while trying to gather all my pens in one place that I've maxed this bad boy out. So I'm not sure what to do about that. I do have a few pen pouches and zip cases, but I like to use those for on the go. It just makes more sense to me because I like having my pens out and I like to look at them and pull out drawers from time to time. Sometimes I just rearrange them for no reason, just to be like, let me see what this pen looks like next to this pen. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. The first group of pens that I'm going to talk about is this little cup of pens, and these are some of my more beginner friendly pens, or pens that I wouldn't be too mad about gifting. If someone came over and was interested in pens, I would probably go to this first before any other pens. So let's start with this. This is a Jinhao 7X750. I got gifted this in the Atlas ink swap, like during the holiday season, and I really like this. It's very cute. I love the color. I have inked it up once and just had it inked up to test out, and it writes beautifully. And so there's that. I have a Pilot Metropolitan, and this has the calligraphy nib on it, which is basically just a tight stub. So I got this at the Colorado Pen Show, and yeah, it's just a nice snap cap, easy pen. Have another Jinhao here. This is a Jinhao 100 Centennial with I think a medium nib, but I just think this is super cute. You can ink it up in a bunch of different colors if you're going matchy-matchy, and I have inked this up quite a few times. Really enjoyed it. It writes really well for what it is. I think I only paid like $10 for it, but yeah, it's a really good writer and it's pretty to look at. My Pilot Kakuno, really love this pen, and I will ink it up whenever I feel like it and just be happy with it. This is a fine nib, has a funny little face on there. Don't know if you can see that, but cute little smiley face on it. And I actually have it fitted with the Pilot Con 70 converter. So we get a little bit more ink here. You stick it in, you can pump kind of like a button fill Yeah, this is just a super great nib. If you're watching this and not into fountain pens, get yourself a Pilot Kakuno to start your journey, I say. We have the Arch and Olive fountain pen, which I recently did a review video about, so you can go check that out to hear all of my thoughts. Still don't know if I'm going to be keeping this around, but for now, it's hanging out. It might get inked, who knows. And then this little guy here I got from either the dollar store or Dollar General. I have plans for this one for a future video, but look at this little clip, a little Lamy knockoff clip. I'm not mad at it. It's an extra fine nib on here, and I am like really surprised at how great the nib is here. It has a standard cartridge or converter you can pop in there. But yeah, super light, obviously super cheap, but yeah, I have plans for this one for a future video. Let's move on to just some Overflow pens. There's no reason why these are in this box really, but I did get this super pretty and loved box from an art center in Deming here in New Mexico, and it was a poker chip box. And when I saw it, I was like, nope, putting pens in it. Let's start with this one. This one I haven't inked up since our wedding at the end of September. This is the Parker IM in Champagne, I want to say. And this is the pen that we use to sign our marriage license. Very cute little squatty nib there. And it's an okay writer. It's not the best, but it does look, you know, very formal, I guess. It's the only Parker that I have. This one I just got yesterday from Pen Chalet, and this is the Diplomat Traveler fountain pen in Funky Petrol. So it's a very fun, like iridescent color, and this is the only Diplomat that I have, and it is a skinny, like very petite postable pen, but I've been having a little bit of fun with it just in the last day. I've written a couple of pages, I've done some content with it, and surprised that I like it so much. The grip here is really comfortable, and even though it is super thin, like the diameter is pretty thin, it's comfortable. And I think it is a good traveling pen. It can fit in just about any little pen loop. I'm curious now. On this notebook that has the smallest pen loops ever. This is how we get off topic. Okay, yeah, whatever. It fits in there. And this is a super small pen loop for the Hobonichi Day Free cover. But I haven't been able to fit hardly any pens in there. Fountain pens anyways. So yeah, anyways, we are not going to take that much time on all the pens. So yeah, Diplomat Traveler. This is a Bone Crusher 7 Studios Velma. I really like how inky this one looks. Super nice writer. It has a Flex Fine nib on this, but it's a Yovo nib, so it can get swapped out at will. And then here is that pen that I received that was made for me by a family friend. Has my name engraved on it. Beautiful two-tone nib with a pecan wood finish on there. Okay, let's get to the main collection, I guess. This is also part of the main collection. It's just Overflow, but let's get into these drawers. And for the most part, I like to keep brands together, though that isn't always the case. So up top, the top two drawers, I keep smaller pens. And so we have 3 Kaweco Sports here, including this one. This is the first fountain pen that I received and kept and kind of kickstarted this whole craziness. But this is the Iridescent Pearl in a medium. This is the Olive in a fine, and then the Lavender in a fine. This is the Twisby Mini, and I think this is in an extra fine. I got this secondhand with the purpose of keeping it in my purse, which I haven't really done because I like it so much. I use it as a purse pen, but also as like an everyday pen. This is my Esterbrook Jr. in the Fantasia colorway, so very sparkly. Again, one of my first fountain pens. And this one has the Imperial nib by Kirk Spear on there. Okay, this is my next drawer. We have the Pilot E95S in the burgundy. I can't remember this colorway. There's going to be a lot of I can't remember in here because I didn't take notes and I'm just going to go by memory here. So this is the E95S. This is a fine nib. This was my first gold nib and I just really love this pen. It's very classy. And I need to ink it again soon, I think. Okay, then we have my first Sailor pen at all, I think. Yeah, so this is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim in Storm Over the Ocean. This has a medium 14K nib, and I really like the colors. The shimmer here is just so subtle, and I just look at the kind of the nail match here, but yeah. Also have the Sailor Pro Gear Slim in Moroccan Mint Tea. This is a medium fine nib. This is a Sailor Pro Gear, and I originally had this body as the blue margarita. I swapped it out with a friend on Reddit, and he had the clear demonstrator body, and we just did a swap. So very fun because I think if you buy this Sailor Pro Gear with the demonstrator body, it comes with a two-tone nib and not this like silver nib. So that makes it a little special, but I'm very excited to ink this pen up with a new body. I love the Sailor Pro Gear 21K nibs, and it has me rethinking a little bit my Sailor Pro Gear Slims because I like the feel of this pen so much, but looking at these, at least right now, I just can't part. It's another Sailor Pro Gear Slim. This is the Christmas Pudding colorway, so very lovely, subtle green sparkle cap with a red finial, brown body. This beautiful caramel is so pretty here, and yeah, definitely enjoyed this. I do wish this was a medium nib, but it is a medium fine. Okay, this is the next drawer. Make sure, let's get some room here. Let's start off on this side. This is the Monte Verde tree. What is this called? Giant Sequoia is the tree. I think it's like trees of the world, maybe something like that. And this has an Omniflex nib on it, and that doesn't really mean much because in my opinion these don't flex very much. It's still a very chill flex. You can't get that crazy like brush lettering look, but this was my first flex anything pen and I really love this like teal, turquoise, gray. The striations in here are just really pretty. I don't know if you can see how beefy it is, but it's a pretty beefy pen. Whoop, get in there, get in there. Okay, and it barely fits in this orientation. You will see I have a couple of drawers that are oriented the opposite way to accommodate larger pens. Okay, and so the next three are vanishing points. I have the matte black, the matte green, the Taiwanese 30th anniversary, and the 2012 limited edition vanishing point. I think the color of this is called charcoal marble, but this is a fine nib. I recently got this switched out to a cursive. I think it's a cursive italic nib on here. It's stubby, but I think there might be a little hint of maybe it being a cursive nib. And I don't know because I grabbed it from my local pen guy, Joel. So yeah, I'm just gonna try that out. I may get it ground a little bit, like the stubs to be like a little narrower, but yeah. And I think this one, I got it with an extra fine nib, but I also have a medium nib that I swap out. Then I have two Watermans. This first one is a Waterman Laurent. It's a vintage pen from the 1950s, I do believe. And I saw a similar one in someone else's collection and I tried it and I really liked like these ribs on the grip here. And so I did a little searchy and found one for, I think this was like $40 or $50, but it has a extra fine nib. And I am doing a little bit of work on the nib to get it to write exactly how I want it. But I really like this pen paired up with my planner cover. And I'm thinking about just maybe inking it up in black. So I always have something that's a smaller nib that can take on any paper and it's black. So then I have my Waterman Corinne here. I have this inked up now with Diamine Walnut and I've really been enjoying this one. Then I have my little Twisby collection here. I have the white and rose gold, the creme and rose gold, the bronze and indigo, the black, or no, the smoke and rose gold 580. And then something in here has to go to somewhere else, probably this one, to make room for the Twisby Cafe that I'm for sure pre-ordering, probably have pre-ordered by time this video comes out. Love my Twisbys, love the Twisby stub. This one is a stub and I'm just gonna pull it out. I love a Twisby stub. Like, it's the perfect amount of stubbiness and the round, I don't know. I dig it. So I'll probably get the Cafe and Bronze in a stub as well. And then I have the Navalor Original Plus and the Marina Quartz. And I've had this inked up once. This does have a Waverly nib on it if you're curious on what that looks like. It just has a very subtle lift on the nib, a subtle like bend upward, but Kirk Spear hooked that up for me. So this one is the Ferris Wheel Press brush fountain pen and luckily it still writes. Luckily I have not totally botched this pen because I thought that it was a brush letter fountain pen when I got it, so I was pressing on this bitch like no tomorrow, but it still writes beautifully. It's a gorgeous color and my mother-in-law got it for me and so it's super special. Okay, here is the next drawer and I guess we're just gonna do a left to right situation. I have 3 Leonardo Memento Zeros here. This first one is in the Nuvola colorway and all of my Leonardos I purchased in Europe, so that's pretty fun. It's kind of like a tradition at this point. So yeah, I really like this one. This one has a fine elastic nib on it. Again, doesn't flex very much. I haven't found a very good pen ink match for this pen yet, and I think it may just be because I'm not vibing on the nib very much. So next time I use this, which has to be soon, it's giving summer to me, but I think I'll switch out the nib and try something different to see if I enjoy that anymore. This one is the plum something color. I'll put it on the screen, but look at this. This is my first Leonardo and I got it from Appelboom in person in the Netherlands, and Annabelle herself tuned it right then and there. That was my first time not only meeting Annabelle, but like being aware of her existence. And so like knowing what I know now, I would have geeked out so hard talking to her, but we still had a good time talking about the pen world. And so this one is an extra fine. It writes beautifully and I need to ink this one up again soon. I even taught the Yost. Yost was there and I was like, hey, I see your face on Instagram. And that's literally, well, that's not literally all I said to him, but it felt like that was the only thing I said to him. Oh boy. All right. This is the Euphoria colorway and I got this one in Italy during our honeymoon and it is lovely. They had got them in that day, I'm pretty sure, and I got to pick from them all. And I chose this one because of the yellow, the prevalence of the yellow, and I didn't have, and still really don't have, a pen that like screams put yellow or gold ink in me. So that was this one. Then I have my Lamy 2000 Classic in Fine. All of these I feel like I want to say I need to ink this up soon. But yeah, this one I need to ink up soon because I really do enjoy that. Then I have my Lamy Safari in the matte cream. I don't even know what nib is on here at this point. It's a Fine. Oh, it's a black coated Fine. Have that there. The Lamy LX in maroon, my Pelican collection. So I have the M600 in white and transparent. This was a limited edition, I think in 2016. This is the M1000. Now has an extra fine nib on it, but it's still juicy. It's crazy. Extra fine, but writes like a medium fine or something. I don't know. It's insane. Then I also have the M800 in green and black, and this one also now has an extra fine nib on it. This is a Shaeffer PFM 1, and it's a vintage pen. I got this at the Colorado Pen Show, and I'm super excited about it if you can't tell by my weird voice that's happening. I got this because it reminded me of Severance, that show on Apple TV, and it's just so weird. The little snorkel that comes out. Here we go. That's what sucks up the ink. It's so cool. It's like a little alien that pops out of the pen. And on top of that, like the nib. The nib is just, this is called the Imperial nib, but it's just super badass. Have not inked it up completely yet, but I have used it quite a bit, just dipped in California Teal, and it is a very lovely writer. Here's another Shaeffer. This is a Shaeffer Triumph. This one is lovely. Also has a really cool nib. And this one is a vintage pen as well. And it does the plunger mechanism where you like dip it in, you pull this plunger, you wait for 10 seconds or so, and then you bloop, and then the sack on the inside fills up. But yes, love this. And it is a beautiful writer, very feminine. I like the vibes. Yes. And then on the end over here, this is a maple burl, I think. I grabbed this one at the Carlsbad Art Museum. They had a few ballpoint rollerball pens and one fountain pen in their shop. And I just thought it was a good memento for the conference that we were going to for Carlsbad. It was the last conference that we went to before the wedding. It's a very odd shape, but oddly comfortable. And I usually don't love a metal grip, but I guess the facets help here. And it is postable. The cap screws on the back, but it's just polished so well. And it is a good writer. I ended up getting the nib tuned. It's a German nib, German number 5 nib. I thought that it'd be lovely to add to the collection. Okay, we're gonna be switching orientations now because a lot of pens don't fit straight up and down like this. So I started off with just one drawer that was faced this way, but now I have 2, and that's still not enough. So what is this? We'll start from the top here. So this is the Novelore Horizon in Twilight. And I got this one for a super good deal during the Atlas Experienced pen sale. And it's a broad nib, and I'm hoping to get it worked on at Stationery Fest. Not sure what I want to get this turned into just yet. I am looking at some reverse architect as well as the monoline grind. So maybe one of those will go on this pen. And this is my Esterbrook SD collection. So I have the chiseled stone, the winter white with the button fill, and the ink window. So you can see that. This is inked up right now with a custom mix. The Esterbrook SD in Raven, the Rocky Top, the Botanical Gardens, the Peacock, which I don't see this one very often either, but these are some fun colors on this one. But you know, you can match it up with purples or blues or even like lime greens. So I really like that one. And then the Esterbrook SD and Ferris Wheel Press collaboration, the Nebulous Plume. I think I have a nice mix of colors here too that I can pair with. If you can't tell, I really love my Esterbrook SDs. I think they're super comfortable. I love that I can switch out the nibs, and they're definitely some of my favorites. Okay, this is the bottom shelf here. And let's start up top. This is a super new acquisition. It was a gift, a surprise gift. This is the Magna Carta 600. So it has a 14 karat flex nib on it. I right now have it inked up with Rohrer and Klinger Cassia. I'm gonna show you guys if I have something around to write on. I have this Hobonichi notebook, but like this is a flex moment. Like I was talking about earlier how the flex nib wouldn't give you that brush letter look. This one will. We are definitely deviating, sorry guys. So this one has a fine flex on it, and putting the same type of pressure on it, putting pressure on the downstrokes here. We definitely have way more line variation with this Magna Carta. It's crazy. I do like these other Jowo Flex nibs though, just to add a little bit of character to everyday writing without feeling out of control with like a flex nib like this, because I do think that this would take some getting used to. However, okay, one more deviation, sorry. So the top part of this pen writes like this, you saw. Well, on the reverse side, I can just write, I'm gonna get ink on my hands. It's maybe a fine or an extra fine. It's my favorite thing ever. Like, have a brush, letter pen, and a fine nib pen on the other side. Perfection. So this Magna Carta has definitely become one of my favorites quickly. Okay, this next one is the Navalor Nautilus in Madame Mezzanine something. I will put it on the screen. But I was a little weirded out by this pen when I got it because I was expecting it to be more purple and less peachy color, but it has definitely grown on me. I have seen some other pens out of this limited run, because this has what, 500 pens in this run, that are like super purple. So, I mean, I don't know how I just ended up with this super peachy one, but it's fun, it's different. And I love how it writes. It has a super fun purple coated nib. Then I have a couple of Banus here. I have the Confetti Milkshake and I cannot believe I forgot what the name of that pen is. Anyways, this was gifted for Christmas by my mother-in-law. She is really MVP when it comes to gifting pens. But this pen is super fun with all the different colors and the little sprinkles in there. This has to be inked up for summer. Like, there is no choice. And there's a lot of different fun colors that I can pair this up with. So I have that. And then this one is definitely a more subdued version. Both of these are Goulet pen exclusives, and so I really love this one, this vibe. And if I were to get any more Banus, there's two. There's the Earl Grey tea one that I really like, and the Caviar. Other than that, I don't think I should be getting any more Banus. I just don't use them enough. But they are so fun and pretty. And then I have my Pilot Custom 823, which I guess I'm calling my bastard child right now because I totally forgot them in my Q1 pen update, but I did get this year, Q1, in an Atlas Stationer's Experience pen sale. So I got it pretty heavily discounted, and it's a fine nib. I have been enjoying it. However, I think I would like a medium nib more than the fine nib. I wasn't expecting as much feedback with this one. I think I was expecting along the lines of like the Pilot Vanishing Point fine, but it's a little bit different. I don't really know how to elaborate on that anymore, but this one does have a bit more feedback, which is fine. But with this type of pen, with this type of ink capacity, I was just hoping for a different writing experience, I guess. Then I have this one. This is from Tailored Pen Company, hand-turned pen, and it does have some pressed flowers in there, and I just think this is so beautiful. Like, such a pretty pen. Definitely my favorite writer this past month. Okay, and then the next one I haven't inked up yet, but I'm hoping to ink up here soon. This is an Opus 88 Jazz in transparent. I got this secondhand as well, and it has a fine flex nib on it, and I'm thinking about putting the Pilot Parallel nib on here. I saw Simona from Simone do it, and that made me super excited, especially since I am getting used to the Pilot Parallel and I'm having a lot of fun with the black letter stuff and using the edge of that nib to get finer strokes. So thinking about maybe putting it on this bad boy. We'll see. And then I have another Bone Crusher 7 Studios Velma pen. This blank is from Stormwind's Blanks, and I call it my wedding dress pen because it reminds me of my wedding dress. But it's so pretty and sparkly, and I love like the subtle purples and greens that you get depending on your light. And I don't have a nib in here right now because I've been storing nibs slowly in another box. So I have a box that I'm populating with different Yovo nibs and just extra nib units that I want to swap out. And so the idea is at some point, a lot of the pens in here won't have nibs in them. And when I decide I want to ink a pen, I can also decide which nib I want to write with. And then I also keep, if you're curious, sorry for the ring light glare, but I also keep extra converters in here. So I have some standard international converters here. I have little mini standard converters here, and this is come in handy for some of the shorter pens. And then this is like specialty converters. Like this is the Pilot little pinch converter. I keep just extra cartridges and cartridges that come with pens here. And then just like little pieces, have a feed in here, a couple of nibs. I think they're both Jinhao nibs. Yeah, that I may want to play around with tuning or grinding or anything like that. I keep those in there. So yeah, those are all of my pens. I do have one pen that is with Ryan Krusak right now. I'm getting a repair done on that, and that's like a moose antler pen. And then hopefully coming in here soon, I'll have the Twisby Cafe in bronze. And then for hitting 5,000 subscribers, I purchased a Auto Hut Design 3 pen in lilac and orange. And now that you've seen all my pens, you can see that this pen is a totally different vibe. But I thought it would be a fun time. I got it super discounted because of another repair that I did on my Esterbrook and Ferris Wheel Press SD. So got a really good deal. And then the pens that are on their way out, I only have one, which I don't even know 100% if I want to still sell it, because I put it up and I wasn't really getting any hits on it. And I have a feeling I'm not getting any hits on it because the brand isn't like super well known or anything. I really don't know anything about the brand, but I got it at a really cool little like luggage and pen shop in El Paso. And this is called the Palo Cerulli wood fountain pen. And I do love that it has a really fun hooded nib on it. I'm pretty sure this is a medium nib, but this was one of those instances where the little mini converter came in handy because this pen is super slim, super short rather. It is a smooth little writer. I was gonna see if I could dip it, but I don't know if I have anything to dip it. Let's see, I have an idea. Which pen has a lot of stuff in it right now? I'm sorry, this is super not pretty, but I want you guys to see that name brands or like recognizable brand doesn't always mean that it's gonna be a bad pen, or a non-recognizable brand rather. Let's see if we can get a little dip moment happening. Yeah, I don't know if I want to sell this pen, but if you're interested, hit me up. I'm not selling it for very much because I didn't buy it for very much. It's got a little bit of feedback, but yeah, this is one that could potentially be on its way out, and not for any particular reason other than I am trying to fund some other things and I'm running out of room, but mostly because I'm trying to fund some other things. So that is that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the collection. I hope you enjoyed and maybe saw some things that you maybe didn't know existed or that piqued your interest here. And yeah, let me know down in the comments if anything did. And I appreciate you guys watching so much. I recently did a video on just the pens I purchased in Q1 while on this low buy. And if you want to hear a little bit more detail about that and the low buy, I'll leave that video for you here. I want to thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.